All right, we're back. So one thing I forgot to mention when we were in our previous tutorial is how to get rid of guides. So to do that, if you decide you don't need your guides anymore, if you have the move tool selected, you can hover over that guide and you'll see the cursor change, and you can click, drag it, and drop it right back onto the ruler that you got it from. So that's how we do that. Okay, so this video is going to focus on selection and being able to select graphics or pieces of graphics and do things with them is one of Photoshop's most powerful tools. And so what we're going to do is we're going to open up another image, and we are going to use the selection tools to do some stuff here. So if we check out this volleyball logo that I've just, or volleyball image that I've just pulled up, there's a lot going on in here. So say we would like to get the Hail Ray logo out of here and use it in our graphic over here. So in order to do that, we need to select that graphic and copy it and paste it. So before we even do that, we have to check and look at our layer panel. And we'll see here that there is a little padlock on the image, and that means that the layer is locked. So to get rid of that, we're just going to click on it once, and that will free up the layer for us to do stuff with. So the first way that we could theoretically get this logo cut out here would be to click on the eraser, and we can erase everything except the logo, but that can be very time consuming and easy to mess up. So we're going to go up to edit, and we are going to say step backward, undo that. We have a few other options to choose from in order to isolate that logo there. So your screen, under the move tool, there might be a rectangular box that looks like this. This is the selection tool. And if you click and hold, you can change it from a square to an ellipse. So we could also cut out this logo by holding down the Shift key, which will allow us, when we click and drag, to make an actual circle instead of an ellipse. So if I let go of Shift, you'll see it becomes an oval. And if I hold Shift again, it stays as a circle. So I could make a circle, and then I could let go, and I could kind of move that selection, but I have to say it does take practice to get that circle just the way we want it, and not have it be too big or too small. So to clear out that selection, start again, we're just going to click outside of it and get rid of it. Now, if we were to want to take a piece of this, say we just wanted this picture here, we could switch back over to the rectangle, and we could just click and drag until we have that picture selected. And then we could do an edit, copy, and then we could do a paste into this document here. But before we do that, best habit to get into is to always check your layers panel. Since layer 1 is highlighted, that means when we do our edit paste, that's going to pop right into that layer 1, that picture there. But that's not what we wanted. We wanted the circle. So we will click outside to clear our selection, and we are going to take a look at one of the better ways to get this logo isolated here. If you look below the rectangular selection tool, you may have what looks like this, a lasso. There are a few different types of lasso tools. If you use the regular one, you'll see here that as you drag along, it cuts out wherever your mouse goes, but it's still kind of tricky to get that really fine detail. So if you select the magnetic lasso, this one will actually stick to differences in color. So what we can do is we can click somewhere along our circle, and you can see here that even if my mouse moves away from what it is that I'm trying to do here, you'll see that that selection line still wants to stick to that edge. And we can go all the way around, and we don't have to be super exact because this tool can tell where that edge is, and we can just go right around, and we can, once we get to a closed loop, you see that little circle that appeared there, click once, and now we have a selection. So I'm going to do a Control C to copy, and I'm going to bring this over here. And I want this graphic to have its own layer. I don't want to throw it into layer 1. So I'm going to make a second layer by clicking the little page thingy. And now I have a layer 2. And I'm going to do a Control V for a paste. And now I have both things in here. But if I want to move the logo out of the way, I need to make sure that I switch back to the Move tool. And then I can click and drag and move that logo wherever I want. And say I don't want to look at the picture right now. I can click that eyeball and it will disappear. Now the last type of selection tool that I want to go over right now is the color selection tool. And this is another really powerful one. So I'm going to zoom in. Again, I zoomed in by clicking on the little magnifying glass. And you can go up to the selection tool and click on color range. I'm going to do that. You can see that the cursor turns into this little eyedropper thingy. And what this does is this basically allows you to decide a particular color that you want the computer to select. So in our case, maybe we just want all of the blue. We can click on that and we can see that now we see a preview. Everything that's white is selected. All of this blue color here. So check this out. So now we have a selection through all of this detail. We didn't even need to trace it. That's all for this tutorial, but in the next tutorial we're going to experiment with some different tools that allow us to adjust color in a document once we've made a selection.